Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Louisville's Board of Trustees meet next week to finally determine the fate of Rick Pitino and Tom Jurich and potentially move the university out of an amazing 3-year saga. Think about what's happened at U of L over the last 3 years. They had the resignation of President James Ramsey amidst a lot of allegations of corruption and a lot of the people that worked for him potentially being in even more trouble. The University of Louisville Foundation saw money missing in such a degree that with no oversight, they have tens of millions of dollars that they're not even sure where it went. The Yum Center, where a lot of the sports teams play, is having so many finance problems, and the bond rating has been degraded to the point that taxpayers may end up bailing it out. The university has had accreditation issues after Governor Matt Bevin dismissed the entire board and is just now getting past this problem. Then, of course, there was Katina Powell and the stripper investigation that led to the banner being taken down and embarrassment for the university. And it all culminated a couple of weeks ago with an FBI investigation showcasing that the university paid $100,000 for a recruit. So the question I have is, how did U of L get here? What happened to bring a university on the rise to its knees? And after looking at it, a couple things are clear. First, the University of Louisville was a victim of its own success. Over the last 15 years, the University of Louisville went from a commuter school where very few students attended and lived on campus to a university in the ACC and has grown leaps and bounds. You have to admit that the Louisville today is not what it was 20 years ago. But because of that, the people that were the leaders believed they could accumulate all types of power and have absolutely no oversight. The university leaders got fat on the hog and thought that all the riches that they got for the university also should be for them. And it led to a good old boys club at the university. This included business leaders, government leaders, and university officials. They were all friends, and they all took up for each other no matter what happened. Many years ago, when Rick Pitino had the Porcini scandal with Karen Cipher, they actually had the audacity to reward him with a contract extension and a raise. That's what happens when you have a good old boys club. Look at this letter that was just released today. 3 business leaders in Louisville all say they should still keep Tom Jurich because of what he's done for the city and the fact that the athletic department was, quote, a model for the nation. Leave aside all these scandals, and they would still be incorrect. Yet this is the belief in the city. And maybe most importantly, there was a lack of questioning and oversight throughout the city of Louisville and the state of Kentucky. As the university had success, no one asked any questions, including the media. Lots of local media felt scared of Jurich and Ramsey, and anytime someone questioned their authority, bullying began, and they would see their power and their access taken away. Now, as things have started to fall apart and each layer comes out, you see a den of corruption unlike anything. But why did it happen? Nobody questioned one part of Louisville's success. Which this brings me to Kentucky today. What are the lessons we have for UK based on what happened at U of L? And I think there's 3. Number 1, we should embrace success. Eli Capilouto, the president, Mitch Barnhart, the athletic director, and all the coaches have helped lead UK to one of its best positions in history. If you go on that campus, the success is amazing, and the university sports programs are as good as they've ever been. But even with that success, questioning is still healthy. We cannot get to a point where just because someone has had success in the past, you don't ask them hard questions. Mark Stoops, just a couple weeks ago, got very frustrated at the idea with all the wins with the football program that people would question his tactics. But you have to. When you don't question anything, you end up with people who answer to no one, and that becomes a problem. Also, fans have to demand high standards off the court. One of the things that happened at Louisville when there were reports of potentially money missing or academic issues was they basically said, we don't care. We're winning in football, we're winning in basketball, so it doesn't matter. But at Kentucky, there needs to be a sense that other things off the court matter as well. UK has been great with team GPA, graduation rates, and the athletics department gives money back to the school. That has to continue, and fans have to demand it. And finally, the role of the media must be preserved. I used to get frustrated at the media when I started KSR. Guys like Jerry Tipton and others would make me mad when they asked questions of the coaches that I thought was trying to badger them. But I've learned to respect those guys because without questions like that, people feel they can do whatever they want and answer to no one. Sometimes it gets really annoying when the media does things, but there's a reason. Without the media, no one questions, and then you get trouble. I think UK is in as good a position as it's ever been, and U of L is dealing with the hardest time in its history. But those situations can be reversed if we're not careful, and the University of Kentucky and its fans should learn from the problems in Louisville.